I think Rocco's going to get into jiu-jitsu, which is something, obviously I didn't do that, but I think it just, it teaches a different form of respect and discipline and also confidence. And I think confidence is one of those things that when you walk into a room, I believe this, when you're an athlete and you've done the hard thing and you've done the work and you show up to practice and you are held accountable and you have good relationships with your teammates, you have a different confidence. And I think for kids these days, like, confidence is everything because it's what helps you to say no. It's what's like, no, I'm not supposed to do that. Or no, I'm not going to look at that. Or no, I can't download that app. You know, it's like, but I don't know these days where you would get that if you weren't doing jiu-jitsu or playing a sport. And, you know, because kids are on their iPads all the time and they're on their phones. And how do you can't escape it. You can't. I mean,
Absolutely.
it's just the world that we live in. So what tools do we give our kids to help them? We are totally at that age. And I said this to my ex-husband last night. I'm like, we're there. I am no longer cool and I am annoying. And how did that happen so fast? They're only 10 and 12.
Yep.
And so it's so important that they get it from a coach, that they get it from their teammates, that they get that confidence that I'm not doing this for my parents. I'm showing up. We talk about health and wellness all the time in our house. And it's funny, the kids and I have probably had to run through maybe 4 airports, you know, coming in from international flights and grabbing the bags and then trying to catch the plane. We've always caught them. But every time we've been running, I'm like, this is why we're athletes. You know, we have backpacks on and we get there and we're sweating. But most people couldn't run like that. Like most 43-year-olds could not run through an airport a half a mile full on sprint if they needed to. And that's kind of sad. You know, it's like, what are we teaching our kids if we can't even run with them? If we can't play with them? So, I mean, I think sports is just like the backbone to confidence and discipline and accountability, which I think we're lacking a lot.
Big time. Yeah. And there's not a whole lot I can repeat on that because that's perfectly said. I totally agree with that. And I think the most important thing in a lot, on top of that I think my message to my kids all the time is I want you to be doing something that you love, mm-hmm. that you'll do when I'm not here, not just because I'm with you doing it, mm-hmm. because they need to have something they love enough that helps them make good decisions as they grow, right? Like you have to have the thing that you are afraid of losing or messing up to help you when you get progressively put in more and more decisions where you don't know to go left or right. Mm-hmm. If you have something to protect that's more important than anything, mm-hmm. like a sport, a career, a desire to play college sports, whatever it is, that's a huge asset in good decision making when you grow up. I know Absolutely. For me, most of the things that I avoided doing wasn't because I didn't think that might be fun. It was that I didn't want to take the risk that it would mess the thing up I love the most.
100%. I was just talking to my fiance about this last night. There were a lot of things that happened to Chico because it was pretty wild, and I didn't do because I was like, no. And this was before social media. I mean, I think MySpace came out. So I graduated from Chico in 2004. I think MySpace came out in 2004 or 2005.
Right around there, yeah.
But like,
none of the kids that would listen to this would have any idea what that is.
No, right? Like, but I didn't do a lot of the things that people around me were doing because if I got caught, I would be off the team. And that was what grounded me. Those were my people, And I remember track workouts Friday mornings, 6 o'clock on the track. Thursday nights was a big night to go out. Even my freshman year, living in the dorms, all the freshmen are going out, even though most of them couldn't go to bars, of course. And I was like, I'm going to sleep. I was 8. I just turned 18, and I was like, no, I'm going to sleep. I have track workouts in the morning. Like, if you don't have that,
there's no reason not to, right? And
yeah,
Chico, I remember when my first season up there with Coach Klink, I remember him, and I didn't know Chico was a town. At that point, my wife and I had just had our oldest, moved up to Chico just like a few weeks later, like, okay, we're off. But I remember him sitting down with our guys going, especially the freshmen, look, there was like the kickoff to the year and some place downtown where all the parties happen. He goes, look, if you go down there tonight, there is guaranteed to be this series of things that's going to happen, and there's going to be people that get arrested. There's going to be, and he goes, so understand, if you are down there, this is going to happen, and you may or may not be caught in the crossfire. So my advice is, don't go down there.
Yeah.
And sure it can be. A few of the guys went down there. A few of them got caught up, and it wasn't, it ended up not being a major thing, but it was, hilarious because that like it's also a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
And to have things that help keep people away from that is, I think as a parent, right, you want them to have the greatest arsenal of things in their tool belt to help them make good decisions as possible.
Yes.
And, you want their voice in the head. Like I say it all the time to my oldest, and she's finally caved. She goes, it's like dad speak. I hear other dads. I'm like, yeah, I want my voice in your head when you're out in the world.
Yeah.
And you hear it, and then it's like, whether you make your decision, but what I would tell you to do. That way, if you're not sure, you've got direction.
Yeah.
But there still has to be all right, risk management.